Healing Shane with Jeffrey Wayne. Welcome. Let's talk about Invisalign. I am currently on tray 17. Just switched this morning, and it is only about 7:20 a.m. here in the United States, and it is New Year's Eve day. So Happy New Year to you all. Okay? Let's talk about this Invisalign. So yes, I'm on tray 17. What's going on with this Invisalign? First of all, since tray 17 is on, it must mean tray 16 is conquered. Now, instead of slamming them down like I've been doing, I'm going to calmly put them inside the bag because that is a lot more symbolic to put them in the bag and put them away. So we will not be destroying these or throwing them away. That's a lot more triumphant, okay, to do that. So let's look at these. Let's look at tray 16. Now, first off, you notice there's a tinge of yellow, not really so pronounced on the lower one, although it's also prevalent. It's also there, present, but quite prevalent on the upper tray is this yellow tinge. Now, this happened before with one of my other trays. You can see it there. It's a little yellowish compared to these, right? Quite a bit different. How did that happen? Well, I drank a probiotic from Suja Company, and it had turmeric in it. Turmeric, the ingredient that's in Indian curry. It's yellow, and it will stain your aligners. I haven't had so much trouble with tea or coffee, even while drinking with them on, with the liners on. However, I have had problem with turmeric. Any yellowing agent like that is going to stain your liners. It has in my case. That's what's going on with the color. That's the upper tray, okay? Nothing really too much to talk about here except this tooth here seems to be off, as well as the upper right canine seems to be out of place, unaligned. Okay, this region right here, not really too super pleased with that. Might have better lighting this way. So that's the upper tray. Now the lower tray, I told you before, I wanted to talk about cutouts. So you can see in this tray, there are a couple of sections that the dentist, let me flip it the way you would actually wear it. My orthodontist says cut out sections of that canine, and then that loose inside. So that's the actual loose inside of them. There'd be the gap that we're trying to close right here. Now, those are called cutouts. They're basically slots created, in my case, on the lower trays, and this is on the remaining trays, 17 through 24. There are slots created to allow for the buttons they slide over the buttons, give the buttons space, okay? I have two buttons right here. I have attachments still. You can see attachments, and these are the attachments here, and these are buttons, a type of attachment. And the buttons hold the elastics on. Again, I have to change this elastic every day. I have a whole bag of those. As a matter of fact, I think I will get one and show you how tiny these rubber bands are. Boom. This is how tiny the rubber band is. Okay, you can see you could easily lose one of these bad boys, but it's just like any rubber band, it stretches out. Okay, very tiny, my eye. And you just put it on there and you stretch it. I push like that on there, and then I stretch it across and snap it onto the incisor button. That's the way I do mine. That's what they look like. You got a whole bag of them. Cost me like $6. They charge me in Thailand. A little bit expensive. That was an extra cost. So that's what the elastics look like. On my lower trays, as I've showed you, you see the cutouts. Okay, I've got two cutouts for two teeth, so the slots can slide over the buttons. Yeah. And what I've had to do is also, of course, I've still been trimming the back left wisdom tooth so it doesn't cause pericoronitis. And I was starting to develop some symptoms on the right wisdom tooth, so I went ahead and snipped that too some. This is tray 16. And I've done the same on tray 17. I snipped the back left wisdom tooth and back right parts of the plastic so it doesn't, no chance at all to get pericoronitis. I never want to go through that again. That's all I can really show you on this. I guess there's not a whole lot else to say, except you see on here, I had to modify, of course, the date because, I switched to 10-day wear time versus 2 weeks. So I've had to change some of my bags to show that updated change time. He didn't add buttons until I was on tray 15. So I guess I've been lucky. I haven't had to wear buttons the whole time, but there's a lot of adjustment. Fortunately, when I added the buttons, when he added them, I haven't really had any problems with them. It's just another thing to contend with, but it didn't take long to adjust to the buttons, the attachments, because it was right at the beginning and everything else was going on with Invisalign simultaneously. I think the attachments were a little bit more irritating. Right now, the one thing I'm having trouble with my tongue is the sharp edge where I trimmed on the back right of this one. I trimmed a little too much, and now my tongue is getting cut, slightly abraded by that back snipped area. Things like that. These are just little minor inconveniences we have to deal with Invisalign. We do the best we can. I think that's really about all I have to say. I still have a halo here, right in this region. There's halo, and this seems unaligned right here. Not super happy with that region. I'm glad the aligners are not yellow like the last ones, so I will do not drink turmeric. Do not eat curry, okay? Yellow curry, green curry, whatever, Thai curry, Indian curry. Don't eat that when you're wearing aligners. Take them off, please, because otherwise they'll be stained yellow, okay? And I also still have this gap here, which is closing, and there's a little gap on that canine. And of course, that tooth is still loose. All in all, though, not bad progress. I posted some before and after photos in a couple Invisalign episodes ago. I think that's all I really got for you today. I thought this would make a cool, logo, though. Yeah, they superimpose these on top of each other like that. That'd be kind of cool, right? Maybe I'll come up with that. Boom. Kind of nice logo. All in all, I'm glad I started Invisalign. It's been a journey. It's been super expensive also, like $3,500 for me. Even though I did it in Thailand, still that expensive. There are other alternatives that probably could produce the same results for a couple $1,000s less. But I wanted to go with a brand name just to be safe. Here we are. All in all, not a bad journey. It's just long and drawn out. Altogether, it's probably going to be like 9-10 month journey for me, not including the retainer wear time during the day before you can switch to just nighttime wear for the retainer. So those are things coming up in about 2.5 fucking months from now, plus change. And if you're thinking about getting Invisalign, I would encourage you to just look at all your alternatives. It's a lot of dedication, a lot of sacrifice. Taking them on and off is a bitch. Some days I just want to leave them off, but it really takes a lot of dedication. And there are a lot of people who quit. They start and they stop. Because it's too much. And I get it. I was gonna stop after 3 days. I was like, I made a mistake, but I already pulled the tooth. I really couldn't go back. I wasn't gonna put an implant. So I was kind of stuck. In a way, it was good for me because I was forced to go through it. Otherwise, they're gonna have a big ass fucking gap there, and I sure as fuck want to close that gap. Oh, and the last thing I wanted to mention is there's gonna be some gaps between my lower incisors when this is all done. Some black spaces, black triangles they call them. Yeah, you're good with the bad, right? I have to think about if I want to close those gaps up with a second round of aligners or not. Anyway, that's about all the time we have. But to seal the deal, these bad boys get to go slide neatly back into their bag, and this goes with the rest of the aligners that are finished. And now I don't have to carry those around with me anymore. And until next time, I wish you the best. And if you choose Invisalign, reach out to me if you need some advice, support. There's a group on Facebook, Invisalign Support Group. Could be for any kind of alternative brands, angel liners or any off-brand liners from all around the world. Good luck. Wish you all the best. Happy New Year. Peace. See you soon. Bye.